Hello, saver. Whether you're saving for that trip to the tropics or saving for an emergency, now is the time to take advantage of Wells Fargo's savings options. Wells Fargo offers savings accounts that can help you save towards your goals. So, what are you saving for? Visit a Wells Fargo branch or wellsfargo.com/save to open a savings account today.
Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.
You are listening to the Hiking Radio Network, where we talk the walk with shows by hikers, about hikers, for everybody.
I'm wondering if you'd go wandering with me through the wilderness and woods to where the winds are blowing free, through the darkness of the night, heading toward the morning.
Welcome to the Jester Section Hiker Podcast with the spotlight on section hikers.
And I'll spread the word and you beat the drum. We'll round up the troops and get the gang to come. And we'll leave the streets and these neighborhoods, head over the river and through the woods.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Jester Section Hiker Podcast, your premier podcast with the spotlight on section hikers, and I am your host, Julie Jester Gayheart. This week, I'll get right to it with our next member of Jester's class of 2022 section hikers, Amy Tippett, or also known as Tiger Belle. Amy is a wife, mother, Gigi to 6 beautiful grandchildren, registered nurse, a lifelong learner, nature lover, mountain lover, hiker, explorer, and much more. She and her husband have enjoyed hiking through the years, but in 2016, they took their first Appalachian Trail backpacking trip from Wyabald to the Nantahala Outdoor Center. They spent 2 nights and 3 days on the trail. It was quite an experience that was a mixture of love and hate and the beginning of Amy's need to be out on the trail. Since 2016, they have section hiked more than 300 miles of the Appalachian Trail. Their goal was to hike a section of the AT through all 14 states. As of right now, Amy has no desire to do a through hike of the AT, but after completing 2 states and working on others, her goal has changed and she knows she will be able to section hike the entire AT. For Amy, being on the trail is liberating and she slows down, breathes deeply, and takes in nature. Backpacking has taught her to be stronger physically and mentally, resilient, live small, and enjoy life more. Thanks for coming back for what is now our 13th episode of Jester's class of 2022 section hikers, and now on to Amy Tippett to hear all about her summer plans for some section hiking out on the AT, following those white blazes we all know and love. All right, you guys, welcome back to the podcast. And today I have with me, I'm going to say her trail name is Tiger Belle, and hopefully I got that right.
You did.
In her daytime job as a nurse, she goes by Amy Tippett. So Amy, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Jester. It's a pleasure being here.
I really appreciate you coming on. And Amy said she didn't care if I said this. So she had a colonoscopy this morning. So she's fresh off her colonoscopy. All is well. And she also said that's important and having your mammogram is important. So we're also into saving the tatas, right?
Exactly. Save the tatas and your colon.
And your colon, yes. And
Yes.
those are, those are things that are easy and preventable these days, right?
Right. Especially colonoscopies. If you, colon cancer is an easy cancer to detect and cure if they detect it in time. So it usually takes about 10 years for a polyp to turn into cancer. So as soon as you can
wow.
Yeah, as soon as you can start having colonoscopies or even the Cologuard, do it.
Yes, and I'm going to say, I always say this, and Amy, you've listened to this show, when you reach a certain age, you got to start having these things happen.
That's right.
Same with a mammogram. And I had my mammogram, I don't know, a couple weeks ago. And after talking with the lady that was doing everything you do when you get a mammogram, she said, I don't know why people don't come in and get their yearly mammogram because, breast cancer is not a death sentence anymore.
Right. Especially if they can find it in time. And, some are more aggressive than others. My mother passed away from breast cancer many years ago, but hers was very aggressive. But that's why I just promote it. There's so much that they can do now.
Do it, people. Make it happen. And this is a hiking podcast, but hey, you never know what I'm going to say in the beginning. So thank you, Amy, for the tips. We really appreciate that. Mm-hmm. And you can never, talk enough about those kinds of things as well. So people, go have your colonoscopies, go have your mammograms. And Tiger Belle and I are going to get into this episode. And if you've been listening to the podcast for a while, you guys know, and I've said this before, that I like to have conversations with people and we could talk forever even before we hit the record button. But there's a question I was going to ask Amy before we hit record. And I said, nope, I'm going to find out while we're on the show. So I was going to ask her how she found out about the podcast. So Amy, how did you find out about the podcast?
Well, many years ago, I discovered podcasts, and I was listening to Mighty Blue on the Appalachian Trail, and I really like his show a lot too. And then he started promoting your show, and I remember, that would suit me because I'm a section hiker, and I do like following the thru hikers also as well. But ever since then, I believe your first show was January 1st. Or New Year's Eve, or
it was close. It was December 1st, 2019.
Yeah, so
with,
I've been listening
Purple
ever
Pilgrim.
since.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
it's a great show.
Amy, I appreciate that. And you're also a fellow MST section hiker, and you're working on the day hikes.
Yes. Working on the Great Day Hikes of North Carolina, Mountains to Sea Trail book. And
Excellent.
I found out about that book for listening to your podcast.
And listen, I'm gonna tell the Mountains to Sea Trail they're gonna have to start paying me a fee every time.
Yeah, they should. You're really out there promoting it.
Well, awesome. I appreciate that. But we're actually here. You're my latest member of Jester's class of 2022 section hikers. And I believe, you'll have to correct me if I'm wrong, you reached out to me via Instagram. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah. I was listening to one of your podcasts when you were advertising for section hikers to come on your show, and you said send you a DM on Instagram. So I did.
Excellent. So, let's start there. So what prompted you to send me a DM and say, hey, I'll go on the show? What prompted that?
Well, I enjoy section hiking, and I may not have all the miles in that a lot of people have in that are section hiking or the AT or whatever. And I specifically stay with the AT and then branch off to little other places too. But I just thought, I enjoy it, and I've got a story to tell, so why not share it?
Excellent. So let's get into your story. So at this point, everybody knows you're a nurse.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows you believe in having your exams, your yearly mammogram, and your colonoscopy every 5 years, I think, depending on,
what
they
find.
Latest, what they find. But let's get into this Appalachian Trail story. And we know you're a fellow MST hiker, which is awesome. But let's get into this AT stuff. So, and you're, what it sounds like where your heart is right now, out section hiking the AT. So take us back to how you got started and when you got started.
Well, my husband and I, his name is Cajun.
Excellent.
Yeah. He and I have always done some day hikes, small day hikes around where we live, around North Carolina. And I watched, like many people, a walk through the woods. And it really made me think, I want to hike the Appalachian Trail. And I hate to say this, but I'll just go ahead and share it. I really never heard of the Appalachian Trail until that movie came out.
Well, that's okay. And, you know what? You're not alone. People don't admit it, but you're not alone.
And so it was like a year or so after that, I thought, well, let's backpack. And I've never been the type of girl that liked to get sweaty and dirty and all that stuff. And
now we're getting into the good stuff.
Oh yeah. And so anyway, our first backpacking trip, we went from Wyabald to the NOC, and I hated it. I absolutely hated it. I spent the night in a shelter, and I thought I'll never do that again. because I don't like rats. And I call rats and mice all the same thing.
They really are, really.
Yes. But I hurt my IT band from my knee up to my hip. And it took me like several months to get over that. But of course, like most novice backpackers, we had way too much. And there was a really nice thru hiker, and this was back in 2016. His name was White Buffalo, and he kind of not making fun of us, but laughing because of everything we brought. And I think my pack probably weighed close to 40 pounds, and probably that's why I hurt myself. This was
only for like a couple nights, right?
We did 3 nights, because when we would go out, we would just, in the beginning, we try to like not overdo it, but and because our packs were so heavy.
Well, give us some of this stuff that was in there. Tell us what this is like a tell-all. So tell us what was in there.
I had like 2 change of clothing, and I never even changed clothes. Had way too much food. I think I had some wine that I brought with me.
Now I can see that. Just me seeing you. I know you guys can't see her, those who are listening to this, but I could tell you got to have that wine. Well, now they make like Nalgene bottles you could take out with wine and all that stuff.
Yeah. And then we had, these chairs that weighed probably close to 5 pounds a piece.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, I know. And
what kind of chairs were they?
They were, we still have them. We don't take them now. Whenever we go car camping, we let our little grandkids sit in those. But they broke down, just like now we have like 1 pound chairs that we got from REI. So they were very similar to that, but heavier. And it was just like so much stuff. I had all these, I watched all these YouTube videos, and I saw people like taking Snickers. And so I had like 2 big things of Snickers, which I gave them to people too. But yeah, just way too much food, too many clothes, deodorant, things that you think you're going to need. And then my husband. Wait a minute,
did you have makeup and stuff too?
No makeup.
Okay.
No makeup. Yeah. No makeup. And then like I carried like, my sleeping bag was heavy, and we had our tent actually was not heavy, but it was just like so much in there that you learn as you go. You just don't take it. You just don't do it. So it was like I hated it. And then after that, after my IT band healed, I thought, well, I'm going to give it another try. And so we did, and I still have a love-hate relationship. I love it. But when you're out there and you're working really hard, it's like, oh, why am I doing this? But
yeah, what am I doing this for?
Yeah. But then you think, I wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
Exactly. So that was 2016.
Yes.
And here we are in 2022. So how many miles is it always you and your husband, or do you go out by yourself?
No, haven't gone out by myself yet, but it's usually my husband and I, and then we've met some friends through Facebook hiking groups from New York and from some other areas. And so, but most of the time it's my husband and I. Last year when we did New Jersey, our 2 friends from New York came down, and we met them up there. And then they're going to do Connecticut with us, and I'm trying to talk them into coming down to do the Rhode Highlands, because that's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
So
it sounds like to me you're doing in what I call section hiker fashion. You're not doing a straight line.
Right.
You're not. Do you have to go north or south, or will you go either direction?
I get it used to be gut hooks. Now it's far out. But I look at the Far Out app, and I see what looks easier. And of course,
there you go, baby.
Yeah, looks can be deceiving, because we did New Jersey last year. We started like 6 miles into New York and then hiked into New Jersey all the way to Delaware Water Gap. And we did north to south. So we were Sobo. And as we're doing it, we were meeting all these thru hikers, and they kept saying, oh, wow, you were really brave doing it this way. I'm thinking, I think it's a little easier the way it looked. But of course, there were sections that were not. But you're going to have your ups and downs no matter what you do. So, but that's what I typically do, is just look at it and see which looks easier.
Excellent. So tell us what you guys, I mean, are you calculating your miles? Do you know exactly, you got a spreadsheet going? Like, how do you keep up with everything? Some people are very meticulous and others are like, well, I've done this, that, or the other.
Well, I do it two ways. So I've got a map up in one of our rooms here, and I highlight the sections that we go because I like to check off little boxes. So that's just one little way I check that off, and then I just write it down. I don't have it on a spreadsheet, but I just made a Microsoft Word document and put it on there. So I've got about we have like close to 350 now, I think 350 miles.
Excellent.
Yeah, but I do want to start putting together our hikes and making it more linear.
Excellent. So I know you've already been out earlier in the spring. So tell us about that trip.
So a couple years ago, we were trying to do all of Shenandoah, which I love Shenandoah. And so we only got the first time we got about 30 miles in, and it started raining and it was really cold because it was in the fall. And that's one good thing about section hiking is that, if I don't want to be out in the rain, I don't have to. I have, but I don't see the need in doing it for days and days. So anyway, we got off and then we went up to West Virginia and Maryland and finished all that. Then I wanted to finish it back in April. And I thought slack packing would be an easy way to get as many miles as we could. And we ended up staying we have a little pop-up camper. So we stayed in Big Meadows and
nice.
Yeah. And we had some friends, our friends from New York came, and then we met some new people from Indiana, and we slack packed, but we didn't get as many miles as I thought we would. So we got about 25 miles. So I'm a little more than halfway through, I think, with Shenandoah, but it gives us another chance, an opportunity to go back because it's such a great area.
Yeah. So I know that's excellent. And you know what? I love going back to Shenandoah.
Yeah.
I mean, I never tire of it. So
Me
I
either.
totally understand that. I just never tire of it. So I know you got some plans for the summer, and I know you're going to be doing some stuff this fall.
Yes. So in August, we're going to be going up into Brevard, North Carolina, which is a great area. And we're going to stay at one of the campgrounds there and do some day hikes through Pisgah National Forest and probably go down to Nantahala too, because it's so close to it, DuPont, all those places. And in September, we're going to do the state of Connecticut on the AT with our friends from up in New York. And hopefully our friends will come down at the end of September and do the Roan Highlands with us. And then in October, we'll be at the Outer Banks in North Carolina. And I'm going to try to get some of those hikes from the MST done during that time.
Excellent. Well, listen, you've got a lot planned.
Yeah.
I mean, from the AT to the MST. So, and, being in Brevard, North Carolina, which is another amazing area. I keep saying North Carolina has, what everybody needs.
We've got it going.
And hopefully I keep recruiting everybody to the state. But so what do you think you're looking forward to the most out of everything you have planned? Or is everything just a little bit different and you're looking forward to it all, I guess?
Well, I'm looking forward to it all. And being a nurse, and especially with my schedule at work, we do a lot of these trips, I call it a long weekend. I can be off from Thursday, not go back into work till that next Wednesday or so. And so I get 5 to 6 days off, and we can get a lot of stuff done like that, smaller sections. But I'm really looking forward to Connecticut, doing the AT through that and spending we'll probably, I think it's 52 miles. So I'm thinking a week, because we take our time. It's not so much about getting in all these big miles every day. We like going off the trails and seeing the sights and, just doing all kinds of stuff like that. So
listen, in Connecticut, they've got some good sandwich shops and some good ice cream. So I absorbed it all going through Connecticut. And Connecticut gives you, to me, it's like an overall small mini taste of the entire Appalachian Trail. You've got varied terrain. You've got everything for maybe what it feels like to be in New Hampshire all the way down to what it feels like, to be in, the rolling hills of Virginia. So I think you're going to have a great time.
Yeah, I think we will too. Can't wait.
Yes. And I'm jealous because I could literally taste the sandwich that I got from this shop. I think it's in Kent, Connecticut. It was amazing. So yeah, I absorb the food as much as I absorb the trail when I'm out.
Yeah, and that's what I like too. When we did New Jersey, we're stopping and going into different delis and getting New York pizzas and stuff like that. And so I think it's whenever we can go to a different state and just enjoy, their type of food that they have and see different sites. I really like that.
And I'm remembering now back to Connecticut. I don't know if you guys are going to have your car, if you're going to be swapping or anything, or if you're going to be hiking through. I had some of the best hitchhikes in Connecticut, meeting some of the greatest people. The sandwich shop I'm thinking of, I just can't think of the name, is about a mile off trail. And I mean, as soon as you stick your thumb out, somebody will pick you up and take you down there because they know where all the hikers want to go. So I had a lot of fun in Connecticut. It's bringing back really good memories. So
well, you can
I'm
go
jealous.
with us.
There you go. And so I tell everybody that. But yeah, so good food, good ice cream, easy to get hitches.
We'll try that.
So what do you think you're looking back over all of it? I say, what do you think you're looking? But now, looking back over all of it, what have you enjoyed the most?
I enjoy the freedom. When my parents passed away in their mid-60s, and they lived more life than most people half their age, and they weren't into hiking or anything like that, but they were very young when they passed away, and I realized then that life is just too short not to do something that you want, and I enjoy the freedom and of being out in the woods. Like last year when we were in New Jersey, it was hike naked day one day. And although we did not.
Oh my God, did you do it?
No, I did take off my shirt. I just had on my sports bra though. So,
okay.
But I did see a young man hiking naked, and it was funny. But just the freedom, to be out in the woods and not have to worry about anything except for where you're going to be going, and, you can change those plans too. If you decide you don't want to hike to that shelter or wherever you're going to go, you can stop wherever you go or even go a little further. I enjoy that. And then seeing things that you can't see just every day. You have to go hike and see these sites, or walk through a Christmas tree forest, and smell all of the Christmas trees. I call them Christmas trees. I don't know what they were, but
yeah, I don't know what they are either. So I'm right there. You say Christmas trees,
yes.
It puts me back to the top of Roan Mountain every
that's
time.
What I'm talking,
so there you go.
It's just beautiful, and so that's what I enjoy, because it's just like taking time to. It feels like time is slowing down when you're out there and you're out in nature and getting dirty and sweaty and all of that. So that's what I enjoy the most about it.
And there's something about that freedom that makes you think things that you were even worrying about 2 or 3 days prior is kind of silly.
Right. It doesn't matter. It's just like the late, great Tom Petty said in one of his songs, is that he worried about things that never even happened. And when you're out there on the trail, I mean, it puts life in perspective of, okay, I don't need all of this stuff that I have in life. Sometimes it makes it easy and convenient, of course, but everything I need right now, I'm carrying on my back. And it's just, everything is great. So I love being
Excellent.
out there.
Well, I should ask you, so we talked about your gear, and now, there's been, has it been 6 years in between? So are you guys like Graham nerds, or are you like geeking out on gear? Where are you now in 2022 versus 2016?
I think we're like in a healthy median area where, I don't geek out on it, but I do have some lightweight stuff. I started out with an Osprey pack that probably weighed about 7 pounds. So that puts, that counts as your weight. Now I've got a pack from REI that's a lightweight pack, and I think it weighs like 2 pounds, 2.5 pounds. And I even use that for day hiking because I just love it. I love it a lot. Of course, in the wintertime or colder hiking, our pack weighs a little more because of the gear. But I've got, in the summertime or warm weather, I don't even carry a sleeping bag. I carry like a camp blanket because I sleep hot anyway. But usually I like for my pack to weigh before I put in water, at least 24 to 25 pounds. And then with water, it's going to weigh closer to 30. And then it's, as we drink, it's going to come down. Because with my husband and I, if he carries the tent, I carry the food in the kitchen, or vice versa. So,
gotcha.
Yeah. And we do want good food while we're out there. So the food, and we'll, you use that up too. So.
Okay, so what do you mean by good food? So
like candy bars, Snickers.
Yes.
I don't go for a lot of sweet stuff, but I do like a Snickers out there. The Mountain House dinners or the Backpacker Pantry, we'll do one of those once, usually for dinner. And then I found these like little things like these dehydrated mango strips that has like dipped in sugar. I know they're really good. They basically melt in your mouth, and it's got potassium in it because you're sweating all that stuff out. So it's stuff like that. I always take a big deal pickle. I call them the gas station pickles. You know what I'm talking about?
Only a section hiker's gonna carry a big old deal.
Well, we will split it because I'm a sweaty hiker too. So you're sweating out all that the sodium and potassium and stuff. So you got to replenish it. So
yes, I can visualize those big old pickles in those jars right now. Yes.
And the first day we're out, I usually pack like a nice sandwich or deli sandwich because I get tired of the tuna packets, but we will do that. But yeah.
Yeah, I can't even deal with tuna at all. I've just converted totally over to the chicken packets. I can't eat. If somebody opens tuna, it's almost like I gag to death. It's like I can't.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So listen, Amy, wait a minute, or Tiger Belle.
Yeah. Tell
us how you got that name, Tiger Belle.
So our friends from New York, they named me Belle, as in Southern Belle. And so, that was okay. That was them being sweet and everything. And I appreciate that. And then my husband and I, we were hiking. We were up in Roan Mountain last fall, up there hiking. And I was just taking off. And he started calling me Tiger Belle because he said, "You are killing it." So I like Tiger Belle.
I like Tiger Belle as well.
Yeah.
Indeed. Okay, so listen, Amy, tell us, you're going to be out and about, and we want people to go follow you. So tell everybody where they can find you out on social media sites.
All right, so on Facebook, I'm Amy Jo Tippett. On Instagram, I'm Amy Jo Hiker, and that's Joe without an E, just J-O. And then on YouTube, I do put some of our hikes out on YouTube. It's Amy Jo Hiker on YouTube. So anyway.
All right, Amy, we and I, all of us, look forward to following you out there. Thank you so much for reaching out to me, hitting me up in the DMs, as the kids say, and coming on and sharing your story. And I look forward to following along, and you never know. Our paths may cross somewhere out on the Mountain Sea Trail.
Well, I hope so, because I would love to go hiking with you. And thank you for having me on your show.
Yes, let's make it happen. It was such a pleasure to have you on the show, Amy. Thanks for sharing with all of us a small part of your section hiking journey, and I hope our paths cross out there on the MST sometime soon. And just a quick side note, as Amy and I were wrapping up our recording, she wanted me to make sure not only do we want to take care of our colons and for women have those yearly mammograms, but Amy wanted to also make sure you men out there have your prostate checked as well. We have to take care of ourselves so we can continue section hiking as long as we want to. Next Saturday, you are going to hear from another fellow educator and section hiker who got her name from her math students. She loves section hiking on the Florida Trail and is out putting some miles in on the AT this summer. Just a quick reminder to check out Amy's guest bio that will be directly linked to this episode on the Jester Section Hiker page, which can be found by going to hikingradionetwork.com. You can also help support in the production of this podcast and all of our shows produced by the Hiking Radio Network by leaving us a donation while you're over there as well. You will see that donate button as you are looking at today's show notes in Amy's bio. Thanks for listening, everybody. Be safe out there and happy section hiking.
I'm wondering if you'd go wandering with me through the wilderness and woods to where the winds are blowing free, through the darkness of the night, heading toward the morning light. I wonder if you'd wander with me, and I'll spread the word and you beat the drum. We'll round up the troops and get the gang to come, and we'll leave the streets and these neighborhoods, head over the river and through the woods. You're wondering if I go wandering with you, what kind of trouble we'll get ourselves into. Would it be wrong to tag along with a band of vagabonds? You wonder if I'd wander with you. So I'll spread the word and you beat the drum. We'll round up the troops and get the gang to come, and we'll leave the streets and these neighborhoods, head over the river. I'm wondering if you'd come wandering my way, if you ever get lost or if the trail leads you astray. The music of the pack can always bring you back. I wonder, can we wander away? And I'll spread the word and you beat the drum. We'll round up the troops and get the gang to come, and we'll leave the streets and these neighborhoods, head over the river and through the woods.
Wells Fargo presents one of the surest ways to grow your money, a Wells Fargo CD account, where you can earn a 5.00% annual percentage yield on an 11-month term with a minimum opening deposit of $5,000. Visit a Wells Fargo branch or wellsfargo.com/CD rates to open a CD account and start growing your savings with us.
Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.